I'm showing here 4 additions to my CV, which is described here in this video on my YouTube channel. So I try to give those additions in a sort of chronological way, and I also added here the G drive folder which contains documents that are presented in this video. Okay, so I'm going just briefly to describe these additions. So this is the first one, and it's something that happened while I was still student. So my professor, who was at the time director of the company where I was working as a student, so he gave me his book, newly published, as gift with dedication. So I was still student at that time, and it is shown here at the beginning of the book. There is that dedication, so it's here. So that was the first one. I can close this now. So the second one, again, sort of in chronological order. This is something that happened, I think, in 2009. So the previous video is something that happened in 2001, I think. So this is exchange I have with Nikola Zakas. I had the problem with his book and he wasn't able to solve it, which can be clearly seen from Rocks, whatever, publishers forum. So I solved his problem from his book. He's the first author of this book. It's the Ajax, as far as I remember. Maybe this is still there. Yeah, Ajax, Professional Ajax, second edition. So it's still, it appears that these are still there, these two threads. So I wasn't working with this type of language before, so it was completely new for me, although the problem was actually with the operating system. Okay, so that was second. Third one is something that happened probably maybe even before 2009, so I don't know when this happened exactly. So my mentor for both bachelor thesis and master thesis, professor, he has a rank of full professor, FULL. So it's the naming is different in Serbia. It's called regular professor, so this is the highest rank of professor in Serbia. So he had 3 of my papers where I am, which I published as first author in the area in the field of compilers for special purpose architecture, digital signal processor architecture for open pipeline architectures, and he added all 3 of my papers. So that was the third one and fourth one is the most important, probably, which is this is video on Professor Nikola Teslic, who was also, I think, in both in both my bachelor and master thesis commission. So commission is a team of professors who are deciding on whether you pass or didn't pass, didn't succeed, whether you succeeded or didn't succeed in your bachelor or master thesis. So I think that he was in both teams, and this is a video on him illegally firing me, and after that he convinced all local companies not to hire me, which is against the law. This is against the law of protecting I need to check out this. Okay, so I'm going to need to be sure I'm going to run it through DA. Oh, okay. Loan protection or competition. So it's against that law what he did, and it's not ethical at all, not professional. So I explained everything in what happened in this video. And it is the most important because I gave all the details on problems I solved that nobody else could solve. This also includes not just Serbian engineers, but also German engineers, because that company that I was working at the time was half German company and half Serbian company. And this should be prerequisite for any sort of PhD, that you solve problems that nobody else can solve. Unfortunately, most of the people who have PhDs don't have their knowledge applied in real world projects, which is really a huge problem. I will create a separate video on that. So the reason I'm creating this, I created this video and that other video on my CV, is because I asked all the politicians, judges, prosecutors to provide their CV. Of course, I provided mine CV, this video and some other pieces of information. And to this very day, I started this process in 2019, and today is 16th of July 2024. So to this very day, nobody sent me their CV, and these are people who are supposedly deciding on other people's lives. So this is real horror, and I'm doing everything in my power to prevent this, and not to have people who have zero, and I repeat, zero working experience, some rubbish education, and still deciding on other people's lives. And the key point here are universities in Serbia and of course around the world who are allowing this to happen. Of course, this is part of the global agenda, because those pieces of shit are called elite, which is the real mafia actually. They also want to have their marionettes in education system. So this is not nothing surprising for everyone who is into geopolitics. So I will create another video on so-called scientists. So most of them are actually researchers. So there's a huge difference between research and science. So research is part of science, but it's not science. It becomes research becomes science when you prove your claim. If you don't prove your claim, then it's just a research paper. So that should serve other people who are going that way to go the other way. Okay, so yeah, one more thing for the end. This is extremely important to understand, because without understanding that and accepting that as a fact, and it is a fact, so pandemic is not quoted, recent pandemic 2020, or COVID, I call it COVID, not COVID, but COVID-19, proved that. And without understanding what is real science, you won't be able to understand what happened during pandemic. Again, pandemic is not quoted.